Okay, class, we are back. We are going to talk about different types of animals. I'm going to show you a picture. I'm going to need you guys to think really hard. I'm going to tell you what the animals are. Oh, look, this one has a big long tail. And then we're going to see if we can talk or if we know what the group is of what these animals are. Here we have a turtle, which we know turtles are part of our swamp because we had this cute little turtle that some of y'all drew. I drew one over here. We also have a lizard. We have a snake. We have an alligator or crocodile. And we also have another cute little animal that was drawn over here, and that was a frog. Those were all part of our pond that we're learning about. So what do you think these kinds of animals are? Can you think really hard? Anybody have a guess? All of these animals are, oh, they're not cats. That is not the right card. Those are reptiles. All of these animals are reptiles. Reptiles starts with the letter R. We learned how to write an R. They are our reptiles, and so we're going to learn some things about reptiles today. And reptiles often live in our area of what we're making a pond. Some of them are underwater. Some of them go underwater. Some of them are above water. So we are going to learn about reptiles. So reptiles are animals that have dry skin that is covered with scales. A turtle has a shell. What color are reptiles? Do we know? I bet Bailey can answer that.
Huh?
What color are reptiles?
Baby pink, like the one at our zoo.
Yes, they can be baby pink.
They are green.
They can be green.
They are brown and, well, mostly all the colors.
They are mostly all the colors. They can be any color that God intended them to be. A lot of them and most of them that we see are green and brown, but there are some that are beautiful orange and red. There's some that are white. There are some that are black. There's all different types of colors that reptiles can be. So, how big are reptiles?
They can be like 5 or 6 feet. Oh,
reptiles can be really, really small.
They can be
or
humongous.
They can be huge, which Bailey had a picture of a reptile that she learned about, that she told you about yesterday, that she wanted to show you a picture. So I'm going to give her a minute to pull up the picture of the reptile she learned about. Do you remember what it was called?
You have to be quiet.
Oh, there, go get it. So, because I'm going to keep reading. So, reptiles can be so many different sizes. Some, they come in little bitty reptiles, like little bitty frogs, and then they can come in really big reptiles. They can be all different kinds of shapes also. A grown-up alligator is very big, extremely big, and it is as long as a car. Could you imagine seeing an alligator that's as long as a car? I would be terrified. I don't like alligators. A baby box turtle is small enough to hold in your hand. It would just fit right inside your hand, maybe like a coin. Who makes reptiles? Of course you know the answers to this. God did. God made each kind of reptile, and he planned their families. Most baby reptiles hatch from eggs. Reptiles can live in many different places. Some live in a hot desert. Some live near oceans and lakes and rivers. Some reptiles may live in ponds or grass, which even may be near your house. Reptiles eat plants, insects, eggs, meat, or fish. that they find wherever they may live. Lizards are reptiles too. So, lizards, here's a picture of a lizard. Lizards are reptiles. Lizards have long, thin bodies. Most lizards have a very long tail. Alligators and crocodiles are very big lizards. Some lizards are small enough to sit on your hand. Lizards use their sharp claws to help run and climb up trees and up different areas of land. Some lizards like to play tricks to protect themselves. One lizard stands up on his back feet to make himself look tall. He takes a deep breath and hisses to scare away his enemy. Another lizard is a chameleon. He can change color to match what he's sitting on. If he's on a green leaf, then his body will change to green. Then he can move to a pink flower, and then his body would change to the color pink. If he moves to brown dirt, you guessed it, his skin would turn brown. God helps him protect and hide this way so that his enemies cannot catch him or see him. If you ever try to catch a tiny lizard by its tail, has it ever scared you? Have you ever done that? His tail would break right off. And then he gets to run away. So that is God's way to protect him, that he can protect himself, because whoever's tried to catch him thinks that he's got a meal. So he leaves his tail behind and runs away. His tail would actually grow back again. Snakes are also reptiles. Here's a picture of a snake.
I have a picture of a snake.
Okay, just a minute. Snakes are also reptiles. God gave snakes long, thin bodies and a scaly skin. Snakes don't have legs. They crawl in between, squeezing the scales on their tummies and wiggling it back and forth. Snakes stick out their tongues. Can you stick out your tongue like a snake? And they hiss. Snakes stick out their tongues to taste and to smell things. Is that weird? I'm kind of glad that I don't smell things with my tongue. We do taste, but we don't stick out our tongues to taste. Some snakes are helpful. They live in gardens and eat bugs. Some snakes can hurt you. If you see a snake, tell a grown-up right away. It's not something to be too curious about. Bailey has a picture of a snake she learned about that's really big. And it lives in the Amazon River, is what we learned. Or what Bailey learned yesterday. Can you show us?
Look at that.
Look at how big that snake is.
Oh, and then if I can have a little bit more time, I can pull up like 2 more that'll surprise you. They will squeeze their enemies and then eat them.
Well, I don't think we need to see a snake eating anything.
No, it just has something in it already.
Oh, okay. So that snake is actually called an anaconda, and it lives in the Amazon River, which is way far away from us.
Here's another image. There's a man, a little
Well,
boy.
we don't know what's in the snake. We don't know what he ate. He may have eaten a big animal. Oh, I thought you were going to say he ate a boy. I was like, I don't know.
No, there's literally a boy
Look.
by it. You see that little circle that's in red? There's a little boy by that guy.
That's a very big snake. I'm glad we don't live where those snakes are.
There should be. Oh, and then here's no.
Did you have one more picture to
I
share?
had one more, but oh wait. Oh gosh. Hold on. Sorry.
Okay, she'll come back to her picture in just a minute. Turtles are also reptiles. A turtle is different from other kind of reptiles because he has a shell that he carries on his back. So his home goes with him every day. When something scares a turtle, he pulls his legs and his head and even his tail into his shell so that nothing can hurt him. And he can also make a very bad smell to scare his enemy away so they wouldn't want to eat him. Some turtles are small. You can keep them in a small box or in the palm of your hand. Other turtles are so big that you could ride on their back. Turtles like to live where it's warm, but if they live where it gets cold, they would hibernate. They will dig a hole in the mud and sleep all through the winter. Hibernate means to sleep through the winter until it gets warm again and it's springtime. Reptiles are fun to look at and to learn about, and some reptiles are very beautiful. God gave each reptile a special body and a place to live. Let's thank God for making reptiles every day. We don't have time, and that's a pretty long video. We don't have time to watch a video. So we can just see pictures, but that's okay. You'll have another opportunity to show us some more pictures tomorrow. So, when we say a prayer, we want to be sure to thank Him for all the beautiful creatures that God made. So let's just say a quick one, Bailey. We're going to say a quick prayer. Put your hands together. I know we don't usually do 2 prayers back to back, but well, we do usually when we're in school. But when we say a prayer, we put our hands together. We bow our heads. God, thank you for making all the beautiful creatures you made. Thank you for making birds. Thank you for making the bees. Thank you for making reptiles. Thank you for making birds, ducks. Thank you for making insects and everything that lives on a pond. And Lord, even though some things may be scary, we know that they are here because you meant them to be here. Thank you for all the beautiful creatures that you made. In your name we pray. Amen. Okay, so let's ask really quick. Bailey, I hope you were listening because you're going to help the kids answer. What are reptiles?
They're types of animals that have dry skin.
They have dry skin. That's a characteristic of an animal. But of reptiles. Reptiles are lizards, turtles, snakes, alligators, or crocodiles. Did you guys get that? Bailey didn't get it. She wasn't paying attention. Where do reptiles live? Think about it really hard.
They live in hot spaces.
A lot of reptiles live in the hot spaces, but God made them very diverse, which means they can live just about anywhere. They can live in deserts where it's hot. They can live in oceans where it's wet. They can live in your house or around your house. They live in rivers and they live in grasses. Like, we hopefully wouldn't see snakes in our house, but you can see frogs in your house and you would see lizards in your house. We see little gecko lizards all the time. So what can a reptile, or which reptile can grow back its tail? Bailey, do you know that one?
Mm-hmm.
Which one? Very good. Bailey was paying attention to that one. A lizard can grow back its tail. Which reptile carries a hiding place on his back?
Ooh,
Think about it.
That one.
What is that one?
It is a turtle.
Very good. It is a turtle. So we learned everything we could possibly learn about reptiles today.
Okay.
Here's our reptile. We are going to add on to our to our pond.
I have one more picture for y'all. That's a
Whoa.
girl. She's trying to push something out of that giant anaconda snake.
I think they were just very, I think Bailey's very enthused about what she learned yesterday. Those are big, scary snakes. Okay, we know, thank you for those pictures. They were pretty amazing pictures. We know that we are building a pond. So far in our pond, we have a sun that I made because I think ponds should be sunny. We know that birds fly in our pond. We know that frogs live in our pond and they can go in the water and out of the water. Ducks live on the water and turtles they can be in or out of the water. Most of them get their food from the pond. We learned yesterday we learned about animals that would live in the pond, around a pond also. I drew a beautiful butterfly. We're going to put our butterfly there. Another animal that can live in our pond is, what did we learn about today? Reptiles. So this is this
one's a scary crocodile.
We have a scary crocodile. He's just
his head out of the water.
Oh, we dropped him.
Hold on. Let me stick him on. Stick his head out of the water.
Sticking kind of out of the water. He's a crocodile. I also happen to draw another picture of a crocodile. This is just to kind of show, or no, actually, that's not a crocodile.
I thought it was.
That's a lizard.
Yeah, the lizard's gonna go ahead and go up right here.
Because lizards can live everywhere. They don't really have to be in the water. They can be in the grass. They can be in your home. They can be anywhere. I'm going to go ahead and put up this tree. Sometimes parts of our environment or parts of the place where we live, or where these animals live, there's going to be a tree. And the reason why I added a tree to my pond is because what might live on a tree that can hang from a tree
You got me.
is a snake. And you might want to be very careful because a snake can also hide in a tree. Let me place him a little bit better. This one was kind of tricky. So our snake has his little tongue. If you look really closely, our snake has a little tongue and he's hiding in the tree. So snakes can live in our pond on a tree. I want us to count. Oh, and so where might a frog live that would be part of a pond?
On a lily pad.
So we're going to take this duck and we're going to kind of move him out of the water a little bit.
We're going to have to set this lily pad.
And I also made a lily pad. We are going to count today and see how many things. I don't know if we have enough. We may have to add some. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because there's a flower on the lily pad. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Can I pick?
And we have a log, which is 13. So we did so good. We have so many. We have exactly 13 things. Our pond is so full of things. It doesn't just have 13 things. Our duck would probably have a friend. So Bailey, where are you going to put our friend?
We're going to put him right here, touching.
They would have, so we can add our duck to help make our pond picture. Our,
We can have more trees.
you know, a bird wouldn't just always fly by itself. So we can add another bird to make more stuff go in our pond. And, we haven't added very many insects. We know that insects have how many legs?
Ooh, the insect could go in the tree.
Yep, the insect can go in the tree. And the snake might actually try to eat that insect.
Or
So,
it could
insects have 6 legs. And I actually brought this heart because I love all of God's creatures and I love everything that God made. And so I'm going to put this heart right here. And tomorrow we'll probably add some more stuff to our pond. But our pond is getting very, very big. And it is so neat to see as Bailey's adding more and more stuff to our pond. But it's important to love every kind of creature that God made. Because everything that God made is amazing. So, Bailey, you can add one more bird to there.
This one's going to be flying upwards.
And, Bailey, you can add one more tree if we have room. I don't know that we have room.
I can make room up here. This could be This could be in a far place.
Our pond is getting very lively.
There's a
So,
little
if you're
open
looking for something to do, it's not something that I am assigning for you to do or anything like that. But something fun might be to create your own pond. Just on your own, you can draw your own pictures. I kind of cheated. I drew this one. I drew this one. I drew this one. I drew the log. I drew this alligator head because I don't know how to draw a whole alligator. My lizard was kind of funny. I'm not a good drawer. That's okay. I drew a sun. I even drew the pond. So, and I drew my frog. Y'all did so good. Thank you for submitting your pictures that you drew yesterday with the instructions.
You drew those 2 things. Those 2.
Oh, and I drew the snake. You're
And
right.
the
And the
ladybug.
ladybug. So, if you're looking for something to do, you can draw about something that you've learned this week, which is about all the wildlife that is around a pond and everything that you learned. One more tree, Bailey.
We're going to put this one right over here. That little bird was sitting in its nest.
We'll probably have to take off some of these things tomorrow because we have a few more things I think that we need to add if I remember correctly. But our pond is getting very, very full of all of God's beautiful creatures. Okay, that is it for learning about our pond. I want to go ahead and show you. I have so many things stacked on top. The papers that you're going to be doing today is you will be coloring different animals that are in the pond. This is a little white duck. So you'll color the duck and you're going to cut around, just cut the top of this. And then,
sorry, I was trying to help.
Then the next page, you'll have another page, and all you're going to have to do, you're going to keep doing coloring different things that we would see in a pond that we've talked about. We have some lilies, a lily flower. You just have to color the lilies, color the snake. Then you will cut straight across because this is going to be like a book. And then the next picture you have is going to be some more things that we talked about living in a pond.
That was kind of
a frog.
already colored.
Yes, it doesn't need to be colored. You just need to cut it out. And then we have a bug.
Which you need to color.
You'll need to color him. And then again, you cut straight across. And then your moms or your dads can help you put your book together. It's a little pond book. So once you color and cut it, it all goes together. And there's a picture of it right here. And you'll make your very own. It's really tiny. You can't really see it. But you'll make your very own little pond book, and you can flip through the pages. So you'll do that today.
And then you'll have to do this. You're supposed to trace the dots.
Very good. You trace the dots, and we're going to count from the number 10, 11, 12, 13. We're going to trace the little top of the frog's head to the number 13. You'll also need to trace the number 1 and the number 3. And then if you remember correctly, we flip our page over. And just so that we'll continue practicing, we are going to write 13 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You'll write your 13 circles, and you can do that on the back of your paper. And we've been doing that since we started writing numbers in school, so y'all should remember how to do that.
And the little tracing the dots is called the connect the dots.
Yes,
it's really fun.
It is connecting the dots. Okay, I will make sure to send everything you're supposed to do to your parents. I hope you enjoyed our videos today. Or say thank you to Bailey for helping us. Make a big smile.
And dance.
Enjoy your exercise movie in the morning. And yes, always dance. Right now is a perfect time to dance. That we're home and we get to dance and do whatever we want all day. So it's perfect. Dance whenever you want to. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have fun. Bye.